Have you ever wondered if the Philippines has the capacity to build its own weapons? As we delve into this intriguing topic, we'll explore the bustling archipelago nation's defense sector, its historical context, and what the future might hold. Let's start at the beginning. The Philippines, with its rich history and strategic geographical location, has always been a melting pot of influences. This is reflected not only in its culture and cuisine, but also in its defense sector. Over the centuries, the country has been a site of various military conflicts, from indigenous tribal wars to international disputes. This has necessitated the need for a robust defense system, raising the question, can the Philippines produce its own weapons? Fast forward to the present day, we find ourselves in a time when the issue of national defense has taken center stage once again. Ferdinand Marcos Jr., a prominent figure in Philippine politics, has recently signed a law aimed at bolstering the country's military capabilities. The law, which seeks to enhance the defense sector, has sparked a flurry of questions. Can the Philippines realistically implement this law? What are the implications of a nation building its own weapons? These are not just hypothetical questions. They carry significant weight, considering the Philippines' current geopolitical situation and its historical reliance on foreign powers for defense equipment. This brings us to another critical question. What does this mean for the country's defense industry? Will this law propel the Philippines into a new era of self-reliance, or will it lead to unforeseen challenges? And this brings us to the question, has the Philippines ever produced its own weapons in the past? Keep watching until the end for the answer. And while you're at it, why not hit the subscribe button and give this video a like? This journey we're embarking on is filled with fascinating questions and surprising revelations. Stay tuned and let's uncover the curious case of Filipino weapons together. So, what do we know about the Philippine defense industry? We know that it's a sector with a rich history, but it's also one that's faced with numerous challenges and opportunities. Now, let's delve into the current capabilities of the industry. The Philippine defense industry is primarily focused on small arms and light weapons production. Factories are producing rifles, pistols, and ammunition. However, the production of heavy weaponry such as tanks, aircraft, and naval vessels remains beyond the country's manufacturing capabilities. But what about the challenges? The Philippine defense industry faces significant hurdles. One of the main difficulties is the lack of a robust industrial base. The industry is also hampered by limited access to advanced technology, which is vital for the development of modern weaponry. Additionally, the sector struggles with a lack of funding and investment, which hinders its growth and development. Yet, amidst these challenges, there are opportunities for the Philippine defense industry. One of these is the potential for collaboration with other nations, opening doors for technology transfer and shared research and development. The country's strategic location in Southeast Asia also positions it as a potential hub for defense manufacturing and logistics. Besides, the recent law signed by Ferdinand Marcos Jr. presents another significant opportunity. It paves the way for the Philippines to potentially build its own weapons. However, the question remains, does the country have the necessary resources and technology to do so? Sure, the country has a history of weapon production. It has produced weapons like the M16 rifle during the Vietnam War and the .45 caliber pistol during World War II. But building modern, sophisticated weaponry is a different ballgame. It requires a strong industrial base, advanced technology, and significant investment. So can the Philippines rise to the challenge? Can it transform its defense industry and start producing its own weapons? Well, that's the million-dollar question. Understanding these factors is crucial to answering our main question. But before we get to that, let's take a closer look at the law and its implications in our next scene. Stay tuned. What does this new law signed by Ferdinand Marcos Jr. really mean for the Philippines? Let's dive into the depths of this legislative piece, its intentions and its potential repercussions on the country's defense sector. At its core, this law aims to bolster the Philippines' defense industry. It seeks to give the nation the power to produce its own weapons, reducing reliance on foreign imports and potentially fostering a more self-reliant and secure nation. The law has been signed with the vision of transforming the Philippines into a nation that not only utilizes weapons for defense, but also manufactures them. However, like any law, it comes with its own set of challenges and questions about its practicality. Establishing a thriving defense industry is no small feat. It requires significant investment, both financially and in terms of human resources. It would require the development of advanced technological capabilities, the training of skilled labor, and the establishment of stringent safety and quality control measures. Moreover, there's the matter of international relations. As the Philippines steps into the global armaments market, it must navigate the complex web of international laws, treaties, and agreements that govern the trade of weapons. This could potentially strain relations with other nations, particularly those that have been its traditional suppliers. Then there's the question of whether the country has the necessary raw materials to produce these weapons. The procurement of these materials could either add another layer of complexity or become a catalyst for the growth of related industries. To sum it up, the law signed by Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has the potential to reshape the defense landscape of the Philippines. It presents a path towards self-reliance and could stimulate growth in numerous sectors. Yet, it's a path strewn with challenges and uncertainties that the nation must carefully navigate. But the question still remains, can the Philippines really build its own weapons? Let's continue to unravel the layers of this intriguing topic in our next segment. What can we learn from other nations that have attempted to build their own weapons? Well, let's delve into some fascinating case studies. First, we turn to the land of the rising sun, Japan. Post-World War II, Japan was forbidden from having a standing military. Yet, today, they're a leading producer of high-tech defense equipment. How so? They leveraged their technological prowess and industrial might, focusing on quality over quantity. They've crafted state-of-the-art submarines and stealth fighters, not by trying to do it all, but by specializing in niche areas. The lesson here for the Philippines? Harness your strengths and find your niche. Next, we sail to Israel, a small nation with a robust defense industry. Despite its limited resources, Israel developed world-renowned weapons systems like the Iron Dome and Merkava tank. Their secret? Innovation and collaboration. They fostered a culture of creativity, coupled with extensive collaboration with other countries and private firms. This highlights the power of innovative thinking and international partnerships. However, not all journeys have been smooth sailing. Take South Africa, for instance. During apartheid, it embarked on a covert nuclear weapons program. While they did succeed in building 6 nuclear bombs, the international backlash was severe, leading to widespread sanctions and isolation. It's a stark reminder of the potential pitfalls and international obligations to consider. Lastly, let's look at Brazil. They've been striving for self-sufficiency in defense production for decades. While they've achieved some success in areas like aerospace, their journey has been fraught with economic challenges and technological hurdles. It underscores the importance of realistic goal setting and robust economic planning. In summary, these tales of triumph and tribulation offer some enlightening lessons. Harness your strengths, foster innovation, collaborate widely, abide by international norms, and plan realistically. These examples provide valuable insights into what the Philippines may face in its quest to build its own weapons. Now, let's return to our unanswered question from the beginning. Has the Philippines ever crafted its own weapons in the past? Well, the answer is yes, but the scale and sophistication of these weapons have varied greatly throughout history. In ancient times, the inhabitants of the Philippine archipelago were known for their craftsmanship of traditional weapons, such as the kris and kampilan, both types of swords. These weapons were not only used in warfare, but also held cultural significance in various tribes. Fast forward to the 20th century, during the Second World War, Filipinos were forced to produce makeshift weapons and armory due to the scarcity of resources. These included guerrilla firearms and explosives, demonstrating a resourcefulness in the face of adversity. In more recent times, the country has made strides in developing its own military hardware. The government arsenal, an agency under the Department of National Defense, has been manufacturing small arms, ammunition, and other ordnance for the armed forces of the Philippines. However, the question we initially posed goes beyond just the production of weapons. It's about the capacity to build a comprehensive, self-sufficient defense industry. This includes not only weapons, but also various military equipment and technology. The recent law signed by Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is a step in this direction, but it's just the beginning. Building a robust defense industry requires considerable resources, technology, and expertise. It also needs a strong political will and long-term strategic planning. So have the Philippines made their own weapons? Yes. Do they have the capacity to build a comprehensive defense industry? The potential is there, but the road ahead is steep and winding. So as we've seen, the path to building a self-sufficient defense industry is not an easy one, but it's not impossible either. Subscribe for more amazing content and keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.